So now the subject of what we want to talk about in today's little video clip, tagging on to yesterday's clip. So I'm going to show you the storm shield today. And yesterday I showed just putting this thing up, from wearing it like a poncho to taking it off, putting it up as a hammock, just exactly like it is right now. Now typically I like to use no tarp at all. Now this kind of season we're getting into now, we have rain showers they're really unpredictable, they just happen. I don't like to use a tarp if I can help it. I prefer to use, I prefer to look up at the sky, but if I need to use something, I like to use our storm shield. So I'm going to show you the storm shield today. If you're familiar with our slider bug net, the storm shield works just kind of the same type of way, just slides along the ridgeline. So let's get to it. First thing, I'm going to put up a ridgeline over here because that's what keeps the storm shield off of your face. So let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, I'm going to use this bright fluorescent green parachute cord for my ridgeline today, just because it stands out. Now this one has just a little, I think it's actually a figure 8 knot with a little bow and eye on the end. Now I'm going to show you this, and then I'm going to take it back off because I've got to string my storm shield onto here. But with nothing else in the way, I just want to show you this. So the option with this poncho is, this one came option with the quick connect cord, which is Dyneema or Amsteel blue cord with an eye in each end that's basically built into your poncho. Now it also, I brought along the daisy chain webbing. It comes with the toggle. So what I can do is I can put this eye kind of deal that's in my parachute, my green parachute cord, I can just put it over there like that, and now that can hold my storm shield off of me on this end, on the foot end here, and then I'll tie it off on the head end once I get the storm shield on. The storm shield completely covers the hammock, which is kind of nice because a lot of people will use a tarp, and then with windy or whatever conditions, sometimes the rain will blow in and bounce up and get them wet from underneath because of bouncing on the ground and stuff. Well, the storm shield covers you all the way around, so that's really not an issue. And it's also really nice for keeping the wind from penetrating through to you as well. Okay, so here's the storm shield, and we just stuff it in the bags here. Like when I'm putting it away, I'm just going to show you now. When I'm putting it away, I just grab the bag with my three of my fingers, and I use my thumbs, and I just start stuffing it in there. And that's the way I put away a storm shield. And I always try to leave the open end. I don't want to trap air. I don't want to trap air inside of there, because it makes it hard to get it all stuffed in. But anyway, so there you go right there, okay? So we just stuff it, don't try to fold it. It's silicone coated anyway on both sides, so it doesn't like to fold and stay folded. Now this thing here I've used for a number of years, so it's got dirt on it, junk like that, so don't pay any attention to it. So one end is totally open like this. You see this big thing like this, okay? So that's my head end, is wide open. My other end, now this is a change that's coming, or an option. Or even if you already own one of these, I'm making a video to show you how to change this yourself without sending it in, or you can send it in. We don't have to send it to Colorado to have it done. We can do that right in our place, so there's not any kind of long turnaround time. So anyway, one end is open wide, the other end is sewn shut, except there's a little hole, a little opening about so big so that all the cordage can pass through. Like all this cordage here has to pass through it. So it's got that. Now this optional deal, which I'm not putting it on the website right now because I'm playing around with it, seeing how I like it. All right, so one end, so that's the foot end, is have just the tiny opening. It does have a drawstring also, so you can pull it up, and so there's not all this fabric blowing in the wind. It kind of slims it down a little bit. But on this one, like I say, I have opened it up, so it's open on both ends. So what I'm going to do here, that's the head end. So I'm just going to pull this toggle out of here. Okay. I'm going to put the hammock suspension and the Ridgeline right here through. I'm going to put it right here through all of the storm shield, in one end and out the other. And if you just have the current regular style, the foot end won't be open like this. That'll be sewn shut except for a little opening up here where your cord goes through. Now there's two D-rings on here, a bigger one. You're going to put your Ridgeline through that bigger D-ring. What that does is keeps it from being able to rotate, so it keeps the top always on top. So that's why you want to do that. All right, so really, I mean, it probably seems more involved than it really is because I'm talking, showing you this stuff and talking, so that's taking a little more time here. So this is the foot end, okay? And there's a seam along here, so you could actually just kind of follow the seam down. And then put the Ridgeline through there. All right, so I'm going to secure each end with one of these shock cord loops. We have an assorted set on the web page. We're actually going to add individual sizes instead of an assortment, so you can choose either. And we're going to add this smaller size right here that you can use even like a prusik loop, or most of the time you don't need to go to that extent. It'll bite down good enough just by itself with this cord, which I'll show you here. Is when we pull this storm shield over us, you want the foot end to stay there when you do that. You don't want it sliding up. So I'm securing it to the Ridgeline through the D-ring down there with this. Let me show you. So here's the D-ring on the storm shield, and I want to come, here's the end of my hammock, and mainly I just want to come just a little bit above that because I want this to cover the end of my hammock, so in a storm I don't get rain coming down into there. Now once we get all this set up, see, it's a little hard to slide, but I can slide it back and forth and adjust it on my hammock wherever I need to for the foot end and the head end. Okay, now that I've got this secured so it won't go anywhere, I can go to the head end and finish that. I'm going to hook my Ridgeline. And this is one of the cool things I was saying, like I can use toggles, I can hook this to the toggle, but if I use just a cheap carabiner, we have them on our website. I actually use these sometimes with anchors to hang my hammock from in rocky areas. But anyway, just tied a loop in my parachute cord here, my Ridgeline, put it through the carabiner. Now I can just kind of hook it up here wherever I want. I've got 3 inches of adjustment very easily. I'm going to put it a little snug to start with, I think. But now I don't have to untie or tie knots. I could do a taut line and adjust it which is what I usually do. But really, once you get it adjusted, you're not going to be playing with it. Okay, so now I'm through the D-ring right here on this end. So now I've got the seam of my storm shield is running right down here along the top. It's all index. It's not going to twist around on me or anything like that. So I am primo. I'm good. Okay, now, so I've got the big D-ring right here that's on the Ridgeline. So what I'm going to do is take one of these little loops. This is actually tinier than normal, but I'm just going to use it anyway. It's one I have for something else. But when you put that on there and you pull this cord lock up, if you cinch that down good, it takes a pretty good bit to even move that at all. So here's what I want to do is I want to put, and I have done this so many different ways. I've actually tied a piece of cordage to the D-ring and then go up to the tree or up somewhere like, say, to this carabiner or something, and then back inside to my hammock, and then I just pull it like a window blind and just let the cord pull it, and I pull it from the inside. You can do that. I mean, there's so many different ways I've done it, you know what I mean? But right now I'm in favor of this method because I lay in here, I raise, which I'll show you. I raise my hands over my head, and then I just hook that carabiner into that D-ring. Now I need to adjust this because it's a little, I mean, you don't have to be exceedingly tight, just a little bit, just a little snug. Then when I need to get out of it, I just reach up, release the D-ring, and this thing comes off of you. It slides like our slider bug net. It just slides like this, see that? And it can actually just sit like this. I have done this so many times out camping, like, I don't know if it's going to rain, not going to rain, whatever. So I will just put it like that. If it starts raining in the night, I just sit up, like I'll feel the drops on my face. All I do is sit up and grab this thing, pull it over me. Sometimes I don't even hook it down. Sometimes it's not raining very much, I'll just pull it up here and just let it sit. It's kind of whatever you need to do. But if you need to, you can hook that in, right? Okay? That's how easy that is. It's just simple. Okay? So this is why I love this, is because I'm not putting, now if I was going camping somewhere and I'm going to be somewhere and it's going to be several days for sure of rain, I'm going to take a tarp with me, which we have those too. But if I can get away with it, that's all I'm doing right there. Okay, so let's just say I'm laying here at night, 2 o'clock in the morning, I feel raindrops on my face, and I'm like, is it going to stop or keep going? That's what I do. I'm not going to adjust anything unless I have to. Oh, no, it's going to keep going. So, in that case, I just reach down like this. All right, so then I just go like this. And I grab my carabiner, open the gate, and click it in. Storm shield's not on my face. It's being held off. I'm in great shape. It's perfect. And when I want to get out, I just reach up, open the gate of the carabiner, click it loose. And I'll use my feet like that to push it back. And then I'm out. That's it. It's pretty darn simple. Now you might even come up with a simpler way. Like I say, I've done this a whole bunch of different ways. Currently, I'm kind of liking this one the best. Takes me a carabiner and a couple of shock cord loops, and I'm good. Anyway, that's really, literally, that's all there is to this thing. It's so sweet. I love it. And I only pull it over me if I have to.